After your glorious passing away, Gargamuni Prabhu has shared his amazing realization about this hospital incident with Srila Prabhupada. We heard how you suddenly collapsed in your room and left us when you were about to be carried out of your room to the waiting ambulance. Gargamuni Prabhu explains, Prabhupada was saying to Brahmananda, you won't go to a hospital because you saved me from the hospital. Therefore, Srila Prabhupada's Leela is still going on. It is not finished. And this is Prabhupada's way of reciprocating with Brahmananda for saving him from the hospital, from the big needles. He is saying, my son will not die in Delhi or in a hospital. He will pass here in Vrindavan. End of quote. You preached in very dangerous places like Africa and also in Pakistan. There are so many amazing things to be said about you and also about the time that I spent with you in Mayapur. I am not in a position to speak more at this time, being in the hospital myself. We are also planning to hold a memorial service for you at Mayapur. At that time, I will speak more about you. Thank you for all the association that you gave me. I remember them fondly in my heart. Even in your passing away, you have shown how gloriously Srila Prabhupada reciprocates with his followers who have rendered him sincere service. All glories to you. All glories. You have shown how Even in your passing away, you have shown how gloriously and how unfailingly Srila Prabhupada reciprocates with his followers who have rendered him sincere service. All glories to you. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Your servant, Jayapataka Swami.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Om Gyanantimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakya Chakshirmetaniyena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Brahmananda Prabhu ki. I had the good fortune to be in touch with Brahmananda Prabhu just a day before he passed. Dharmatma called me and told me that Brahmananda was very sick. So I was driving to the temple from the airport. I was just returning from Burma. And I called up Hare Krishna. And I called Brahmananda and we spoke on the phone. I was informed of the various ailments that Brahmananda had. So I told Brahmananda, Prabhuji, you should come to Delhi and get tested. In Mathura and Vrindavan, you don't have good doctors. And Brahmananda went on saying, but I don't want to leave Vrindavan. I don't want to leave Vrindavan. So I finally agreed with him that I would send a devotee doctor the next day. The devotee doctor arrived from Delhi. He's a very good doctor. He saw Brahmananda, and after seeing Brahmananda, he said, he definitely should be taken to a hospital in Delhi. And he phoned Dr. Krishna Priya. Can you hear me or you can't hear? Can you all hear me? No? You want me to start again? Okay, I'll speak louder. So the doctor telephoned Krishna Priya And an arrangement was made that Brahmananda could be brought immediately to Apollo Hospital in Delhi. But Brahmananda's heart's desire was, I should not leave Vrindavan. And Krishna fulfilled this desire of his. The ambulance was there, the doctors were there, the devotees were there. But before Brahmananda Prabhu could be carried to the ambulance, he passed away in his room in Vrindavan Dham on the auspicious occasion of the appearance day of Rakeshwar Pandit. So Brahmananda was a very dear devotee of Prabhupada and Krishna. Prabhupada appeared to fulfill Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's prediction that the holy name will be chanted in every corner of the globe. And several devotees also appeared to help Prabhupada fulfill that prediction. And I believe one of those devotees was Brahmananda. Garga Muni very nicely described Brahmananda Prabhu's whole life. Many of the points that I was planning on speaking were covered by Brahmananda, were covered by Garga Muni. Brahmananda was very special. He got interested in Indian philosophy. He met Prabhupada in New York, and he was earning $400 a month as a teacher, and most of his income he was giving to Prabhupada to run the temple. After Prabhupada's lecture, he would pass a basket around for donations, and Prabhupada would then count how much donations came. And they were usually $5 or $6. But one day he saw there was also a $100 bill, and that was Brahmananda's. So Brahmananda was totally dedicated to Prabhupada's mission. It's amazing how the Bhagavad Gita got published by Macmillan. Prabhupada was looking for a publisher in America. He tried it. He first gave the manuscript to Allen Ginsberg. Then he gave it to Ramayana Rai Ramadas. Then he gave it to a few other people. And everyone returned the manuscripts saying, sorry. And then that happening record, which was really a wonderful record, I think we should, some of the other manufacture that and sell in our temples. And that person from Macmillan, that accountant, has such a nice story. The accountant wrote a letter. He misused his position by using Macmillan's letterhead. And Brahmananda was so smart. He said, oh, from Macmillan. And he followed Prabhupada's order. And eventually, the book was published by Macmillan. So Brahmananda was Prabhupada's secretary. He was the first temple president of ISKCON. And he was also in the first group of GBCs made by Prabhupada. He was one of the first GBCs made by Prabhupada. Brahmananda was in charge of the East Coast, and Tamal Krishna was in charge of the West Coast. That's what the arrangement was in the early days. I first met Brahmananda Prabhu in 1968 in Montreal. Prabhupada was staying in Montreal for 3 months to get his green card for America. And naturally, all the leaders were regularly coming there. So from the very beginning, I could see how close Brahmananda was to Srila Prabhupada. Brahmananda was not only in charge of the temple, not only Prabhupada's secretary, he was also in charge of ISKCON Press. We had an ISKCON Press on Tiffany Place, and Brahmananda was overall in charge of that press also. Therefore, we see that in all these books, Nectar of Devotion, Teaching the Lord Chaitanya, Krishna book, Prabhupada mentions Brahmananda. Prabhupada thanks Brahmananda in his introduction. So Brahmananda was very dear and very enterprising in preaching. Imagine, Prabhupada told him to go to Pakistan and he agreed. If any of us were told, go to Pakistan, we would probably give so many excuses. But Prabhupada wanted Brahmananda, wanted the preaching to open in Africa. Brahmananda risked his life. So as you heard from Gargamuni, Prabhupada had read in the papers that the Americans were shot there. So when Brahmananda finally showed up in Bombay, I believe it was Akash Ganga, where Prabhupada was there. Brahmananda's body was dirty because he was traveling for a long time. But Prabhupada, when he saw him, he was so pleased that he embraced him. And Brahmananda said, I'm dirty, don't embrace me. Prabhupada still embraced him. He was so happy to receive him back in India. So Brahmananda has done immense amount of service. I had the fortune of serving in Kenya on the GBC there, and Brahmananda went to Africa. We first went to Mombasa. When he first went to Mombasa, there were some mistakes and they were not allowed to land in Mombasa. For 3 or 4 days, he was virtually on the ship that brought him to Mombasa. Then by Krishna's grace, somebody helped him and he started preaching in Mombasa, in Nairobi. Many years later also, even now, the elderly people there say, where is Brahmananda? I told Brahmananda many times to visit Kenya, but he did not. I'll extend the invitation to Nagamuni, who can visit Kenya on Brahmananda's behalf. So Brahmananda was a very dear disciple of Prabhupada. He was full of Prabhupada nectar. Whenever he would speak, he would reveal so many wonderful pastimes of Prabhupada. So I have no doubt that Brahmananda has gone back to Prabhupada and Krishna. A few months ago, Brahmananda was having visa problems and I had to get involved. So I spoke to Brahmananda. He said, I don't want to leave Vrindavan. So he had a strong desire not to leave Vrindavan, either for visa extension or for medical. And Krishna fulfilled his desire by making him give up his body on an auspicious day in Vrindavan Dham. Brahmananda Maharaj ki, Gaur Brahmananda.
Hare Krishna. So we'd like to thank Gopal Krishna Maharaj for wonderful memories of all the exploits of Brahmananda and how he refused to leave Vrindavan. And we'd also like to offer our heartfelt thanks to His Holiness Gopal Krishna Maharaj for all the service he did to Brahmananda, trying to get him back to health so that we could have for many more years enjoyed the ocean of Prabhupada pastimes that resides within the treasure chest of his heart.
I always considered Brahmananda to be my Siksha Guru.
So, our President Panchagoda Prabhu is out of town, and he sent his offering. So I'd like to request His Grace Shrestha Prabhu to please read the offering of Panchagoda Prabhu for Brahmananda.
ओम ज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Dear Brahmananda Prabhu, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. I feel that I have lost the association of my big brother. You have always been very kind to me, bringing my thoughts towards Srila Prabhupada. Your life was very single-pointed, glorifying our master Srila Prabhupada. Your classes in Krishna Balram Mandir were very much enlivening, and devotees would be fixed on your talk and accounts of your personal deals with His divine grace. The example that you have set off for dedication, loyalty, and enthusiasm to stay fixed on Srila Prabhupada is wonderful. Your sharp sense of humor and your memory have been impressive, plus your ability to convey the message of Godhead as taught by Srila Prabhupada was indicative of the empowerment and blessings that you have received from Srila Prabhupada. We will miss you, your wonderful association. You are lucky to have lived and departed from this world in a very sudden but special way. I am sure that you are in good hands with Srila Prabhupada, continuing your preaching and eternal service to Srila Krishna Balaram. Your servant and little brother, Panjagoda Das. I have just one memory when I was in Washington. I want to tell that. Brahmananda Prabhu and Gargamuni Prabhu, they used to stay in Fairfax Tower in Gallows Road and Arlington Boulevard corner. So I was serving Washington Temple that time. So I was temple president. So I used to schedule 1 week in a month for Brahmananda Prabhu's lecture. First time when I went 1988, I saw Brahmananda Prabhu was sitting in the Vyasasan with pajama. So I was a devotee coming from India and I couldn't digest. Then everybody told, this is, Prabhupada's first disciple and he's sick. So then we become very close. Then I used to go and pick him up from the class and drop him back. So he will tell some stories. Then I didn't have a car, so I asked Brahmananda Prabhu, he himself told me, I want to sell one car. Anybody wants to buy it in the temple? And he said, I have a Subaru car I want to sell, you take it. And I had only $100 in my pocket, and he knew exactly how much money I had in my pocket. And he said, I need only $100. He was that much powerful. And once we organized a nice program in the College Park, Maryland University for 1996, the 25th anniversary of ISKCON. So I took Brahmananda Prabhu's and Gargamuni's mother for that program. So on the way on the car, Brahmananda Prabhu's mother told me, once I went to give Srila Prabhupada one big amount of money, I think she got from lottery, right, something? So it was 10,000 or 1,000? I think she $10,000 in an envelope she offered to Prabhupada. So Prabhupada took that money and gave it to her back. I don't need your money because you gave me more than that, your two beloved son to me. That's more valuable than this money. So they both are very dearest to Prabhupada. And Brahmananda Prabhu has done a lot of service. If Prabhupada can, compare money and a devotee, Prabhupada like the devotees, like Brahmananda Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Brahmananda Prabhu ki. So I'd like to thank Panjagoda Prabhu for expressing very heartfully the loss that we all feel, and also thank His Grace Srista Prabhu for his wonderful memories of Prabhupada and Brahmananda in Washington, D.C. Next we have one of the senior-most female disciples of Prabhupada, Kishori Devi Dasi. So I would like to request her to offer her Shraddhanjali at the feet of Brahmananda Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembly of devotees. I can't hear. What? Like this? Okay. All glories to the assembly of devotees. Excuse my English, is very poor. So I am feeling very low to speak after such great devotees who are doing so much for Srila Prabhupada. I was simply mopping the floor for Srila Prabhupada and cooking for him, sometime in the association of Brahmananda Swami. But you see, Srila Prabhupada was showing so much mercy to his also little servant. He made, actually, in his heart, he made no difference. So my relation with Brahmananda Swami was that from the very beginning I joined. I don't know, I was so grateful and so admirative for him because he met Srila Prabhupada, and Srila Prabhupada was, nobody knew he was a pure devotee, this, that. But out of love, he fell in love with Srila Prabhupada. He was captured by love. And from that moment, and he was giving to Prabhupada everything he had. And from that moment, his heart never changed. And he was certainly always thinking of Srila Prabhupada. Because Prabhupada said, when you love someone, you think about that person day and night. I felt some link with him about that. So he embraced me, he commanded respect. So I was not so familiar with him. I just could not believe. I saw him as a big heart for Srila Prabhupada. So one time, Srila Prabhupada had such an intimate relationship with him. He knew that whatever I tell him, whatever I think of him, they was like one together, one and different, of course, in love. So one time, Surabi was delaying time to fix the new toilets for Srila Prabhupada. So Srila Prabhupada called him. He said, "What are you doing?" And Surabi said, "Well, I'm trying to fix a room for Brahmananda. You have nowhere to stay." And Prabhupada very lovingly, all this is love. Father and son, we love each other so much. So, and we knew Prabhupada, his son, beloved son. So Prabhupada said, "What? You are making a room from Brahmananda? What he will do then? He will sleep all day?" Because Srila Prabhupada needed him all the time. So he should sleep there. So there is where we enter Srila Prabhupada's house. Not where they give prasadam now, but after, before the library, between the library and Srila Prabhupada's room. So Brahmananda, I was worried. I was saying to Swami, but he have no room, he have nothing of himself, nothing. So Brahmananda was actually day and night in this corridor at the service of Srila Prabhupada. and he had to roll a little, I don't know what, a kind of mattress that you roll. And he had a bag. He had nothing. But Brahmananda Swami, he was a normal person, like, very, so humble. You command respect, but you feel that he's so humble. One time, I was in cooking for the deities, and Srila Prabhupada was arriving with him. So Brahmananda came in the kitchen and told me, Srila Prabhupada said that I want to eat what Kishori cooked for the deities today. So he came back to get the offering. And I was making a plate for Brahmananda as I made for Krishna. So very, very big plate. Big parathas, halva, gobi sabji with some paneer. Such big plate. It was 4 big parathas, like this, at least. So Brahmananda, as I had some problem before that some president told me it's too much all that for Krishna was trying to take out. And I was very annoyed when they did that. But Brahmananda, he was also doing the same, but it was with great love also. So we had different, because we are person, we have unique relation with Krishna and with our spiritual master. So he was saying to me, again, don't put so much in Prabhupada's plate. But it was lovingly, because Srila Prabhupada is a bit upset with his stomach. So he was really worried. And me, has been more light. I wanted to give pleasure to Srila Prabhupada in eating Mahaprasada of Krishna that I cooked, because I knew that he always liked what I cook. So we was doing like this. Then finally, he left with the very big plate. Then I was starting the next offering. And Brahmananda came back and he said, look. And he showed me the plate empty. So I just said, oh, you finished everything? I knew he loved my prasadam also. And he likes to eat prasadam. So he said, no, I had nothing. Because never do that again. And then very kindly, he was not angry at all. It was a very sweet smile. He was so happy to give me some mercy of Srila Prabhupada. That was very sweet of him. Like Gargamuni Swami said, sometimes some devotee's nature will always push away a little when you want to approach Srila Prabhupada. So Shruti Kirti was never like this, and Brahmananda never. Always happy to come to tell you something that will make you feel loved by Srila Prabhupada. So he had a sweet smile, and he said to me, you know what happened? Then you know the story, I think maybe some know. So he said Srila Prabhupada was eating and eating, and I was telling him, Prabhupada, stop to it. Just stop now, it's too much. You're going to have pain in your stomach. He said, but Prabhupada will not hear me. And Prabhupada was eating and eating. And at the end, Prabhupada was sitting like this. So he showed to me, he said, Srila Prabhupada lay back And he said, Brahmananda, what can I do? It was too good. She cooked too good. I could not help it. So I was so happy. But I have 5 more minutes or not? Yeah? Yeah? So actually the day that Brahmananda, because I received so much mercy from him, I would like to share with you. Because I know I'm speaking in front of Krishna. I know it is true. So I knew that anyway, Brahmananda Swami always he also told me one time, he only want to go with Prabhupada, he only want to be with Prabhupada. And I was feeling a link with him because I feel the same. So the day Brahmananda left, as you know, we was many of us taking Prashadam at Tamal Krishna appearance day. So I come back to my room, and Kanayal Lal Prabhu from the Welcome Center called me saying you receive an email from friends. And I said, oh, but I am really tired. I cannot come. Oh, he said, maybe something is happening because for Brahmananda. I said, what? Then he told me Brahmananda just left his body. Oh, I was in shock. And I said, but what's happening? Is there something happening? I'm coming immediately. So I was in tears. And I came to his place, and he said, so go to the library. Parvati is there. Maybe she will tell you. So I rushed to the library. And I felt, but why nobody tell me anything, what's happening, all that. But actually, like I was not with Srila Prabhupada, everyone has his own nature. When Prabhupada left her body, and actually I was thanking Krishna. I'm too sensible, I would have been destroyed. So Krishna, I know, I could not I could not be near to him. So I come to the library, and it was a Bhagavad Gita class, and I'm very simple. I saw, but to tell to Parvati, but they're not speaking about Brahmananda, and I was crying. She said, Brahmananda, she's very good devotee, very nice devotee. She has her own feeling. Every devotee has his own relationship with devotees and Prabhupada. So I am respecting so much, and I appreciate so much. So she said, well, I am concentrating on Bhagavad Gita, because when Brahmananda was there at the time, he was coming very much to Bhagavad Gita class. He liked it so much. And after he was giving his own purport, and it was as long as Bhagavad Gita class. But I was in my little world, and class was almost finished, and Prabhu was giving class, saying, do you have any question? I said, please, please, can we make at least 10 minutes of kirtan for Brahmananda? He's gone, and he was like part and parcel of Srila Prabhupada. And he's a bit like a bit again of the disappearance of Prabhupada. He was a pillar of the foundation, and please. So he said to me that it's going to be done, and I understood it's an institution, everything is done in a certain time. And I was remembering the old days and thinking, oh, we would have just gather, forget about institution, everything, and just chant. But I respect all this. This is also perfect. So I went back to the Welcome Center, and Parvati came, and she said, Kishori, you have to go to the Samadhi, because Srila Prabhupada's face is different. It's so shining, so effusion. And she said something so wonderful, who pacified my heart, because she's so sweet in her heart, like Gargamuni. He's so sweet in his heart. His heart is so soft. And he loves so much his brother. Also, he told me that Srila Prabhupada was giving more attention to his brother than to him. But he looked after his brother until the end, and he loved his brother so much. So this shows that there's no envy at all in his heart. So Parvati tell me that. And so simple I am. I rushed. Kanayalal was saying, so quick, get to the Samadhi. So I went to the Samadhi, and I put myself like this, and I tried to see Srila Prabhupada's face change. But I forgot that my eyes at 1.5 meters, I don't recognize anybody unless I see them every day. So I was trying. And then suddenly, and I could not see anything, but then suddenly, one girl came next to me, and I was telling her, you know about Brahmananda, and she didn't know also. So I was telling her some things I told you, that is like a disaster. It's the worst day, because he left this earth, and even we don't see him so much. Somewhere, Brahmananda was there. It was a big piece of Prabhupada, and it was like a comfort, because never one word would come out of his mouth, like his brother, Gargamuni, which was not from Prabhupada. Never. It was like you get for the bulls in America, they make this with a number. Prabhupada had done this in their heart. Stamp, Prabhupada forever, the voice of Prabhupada. So I was telling her that, and I was saying, Gargamuni just told that he was giving everything for the rent. Me, I was saying, being very much in relation with Prabhupada, with cooking and eating. So I was saying, he nourished Prabhupada for so many months. He nourished him, And I was being so much separation from Brahmananda, although I had not so much association. So you see, all these things are from the soul, from the heart. It's not only, okay, I want to be short. So at that moment that I was telling that he was feeding Srila Prabhupada, because I'm a mother, I feel this thing. It's very important for me. Then the brahmachari come, and he put in front of me a plate of Mahaprasad from Prabhupada. So I look at Prabhupada, and I promise you, in my heart, I saw Srila Prabhupada, and I saw Brahmananda smiling to me, like appeasing me, because he was already liberated. He is a liberated soul. He is with Prabhupada, so he can give blessing. And at that moment, I heard that Vaishnava died, but they disappear, but they appear immediately. So somehow he showed himself to me, and what happened? This plate was a normal plate, but it was paratas, so I was remembering, but it was paratas so big halva, so big everything. So, I don't know, it was like not a normal plate. So I took it and I said to the girl, very sweet girl, come. we're going to distribute this prashadam. It was the same day that Brahmananda left. I can stop. Okay, I say just 1 second. Then we gave the prashadam, and the prashadam was never ending, and we feed about 100 people. And I was telling her, je see, we have so much mercy, because secretly, we are the first one who give Brahmananda prashadam mercy to everyone. Hare Krishna.
Shri Brahmananda Prabhu ki
I'm sorry
So we'd like to thank
to have been
Her
too
Grace
long.
Kishoriji for describing so sweetly the wonderful love of Brahmananda for Srila Prabhupada and Prabhupada's wonderful love for Brahmananda. So next we have the offering of Lokanath Swami Maharaj, who could not be here. So I will read Lokanath Swami's offering to Brahmananda.
Come there.
All the microphones are kind of recordings right. Hare Krishna. My dear assembled devotees, Vanchakalpatruvesta Kripasindu Vevacha Patitanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. I wish I was with you all during the memorial ceremony. Unfortunately, I couldn't be there, so here are a few words of my offering unto Brahmananda Prabhu. When Srila Prabhupada was single-handedly working on the foundation phase of ISKCON, Brahmananda Prabhu was one of the first American young boys who stepped forward in order to assist Srila Prabhupada in a big way. His contributions to ISKCON and his talks about Srila Prabhupada are invaluable. He served as Srila Prabhupada's personal servant secretary, ISKCON's first temple president. Brahmananda Prabhu and his dear brother Gargamuni were the founders of our successful spiritual sky business. Srila Prabhupada personally trained them in this initiative. When I heard of Brahmananda Prabhu's departure, the first question came to my mind was, did he write memoir of Srila Prabhupada? Soon thereafter, I was happy to hear that he did write Swamiji, a book that has left so many reminiscences of Srila Prabhupada with us. Thank you, Brahmananda Prabhu, for sharing these fascinating stories of Srila Prabhupada and ISKCON's early days. I am in awe of all of you who have done all you have done in the service of Srila Prabhupada and ISKCON. Although sometimes perceived as a very heavy person, in fact, he was very soft-hearted and very friendly as well as humorous personality. His favorite topic of his talks would be Srila Prabhupada, which we have all witnessed during the recent 40th anniversary of Krishna Balaram temple opening in Vrindavan, where he mesmerized us all with his fond memories of Srila Prabhupada, which he articulated and presented in great details. Also, I remember his talk in Vrindavan after Prabhupada's departure. With his voice choked up, he was sobbing, crying, trying to talk, like an orphan who has just lost his father. His love and affection and a relationship with Srila Prabhupada was very unique. Brahmananda Prabhu also stuck to Vrindavan, the land of Krishna, and Srila Prabhupada to his very last breath. That was glorious. Vaishnava departure arouses mixed feelings of harsh and shoka, feeling of sorrow and joy. I feel really sad that our big brother has left our association, but I am confident that he has finally caught up with Srila Prabhupada, and for that I am glad. Brahmananda Prabhu ki jai. Your servant Lokanath Swami. Shri Brahmananda Prabhu ki. So we'd like to thank Lokanath Swami for his kind words for Brahmananda, and we'd like to request Her Grace Kutsa Mataji to come and make her offering to Brahmananda Prabhu.
All glories to Sriman, His Grace Sriman Brahmananda Prabhu, who will always be a Maharaj to me. Rohini Nandan wanted to speak. Is he here? He spent years with him in South Africa and also Parvati. And I'm reading a letter from Aditya. She's not able to come since we were with Brahmananda. She ended up falling very sick due to emotions, and she can't be here. We both did, actually. I'm sorry to say that I very selfishly responded because I feel a huge loss. The remembering how Sriman Brahmananda Prabhu would, with great emotion and personal loving experience and tremendous amount of research, because he was, after all, a scholar. So he never came unprepared to speak. He always did his homework, and he enlightened us amazingly. And so I felt like somebody had just gutted me. How that a library of Prabhupada Ras had burnt to the ground. There are no words that can properly describe the loss for the Vaishnava community when a great devotee departs. No words that can describe. So Aditya Prabhu has written, "My dear Srila Prabhupada," and the topic is Brahmananda Maharaj. My dear Srila Prabhupada and all the dear devotees, I would like to relate a nice story of Brahmananda Prabhu's preaching in Pakistan.